Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Planning Advisory Committee meeting for the town of Quispamsis for Tuesday, April 8th. We'll move on to item 2, approval of agenda. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda, please? Mr. Hatfield, thank you. Brent?
Second.
Thank you. Can we vote on that, please?
Yes, we have.
He's getting logged in. Mr. Goslin, you online?
Yes, I am. For some reason here, it doesn't show the yes for a vote, but I would approve.
Thank you. That motion's carried unanimously. With that being, we'll move on to item 4, approval of previous minutes. Is there any adjustments to the minutes? Oh, sorry, number 3, sorry, disclosures of interest. Any disclosures of interest? None being, we'll move on to item 4, approval of previous minutes. Any adjustments to the minutes? None being, can motion approved? Brenda?
So moved.
Seconder on that, Mr. Guest?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Can we have a vote on that, please?
My vote is yes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Goslin. That motion's carried unanimously. With that being, we'll move on to item 5, business arising from minutes. Can I have a motion to receive and file, please? Mr. Hatfield, thank you. Seconder, please. Kendall?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Can we have a vote on that, please?
Again, Mr. Chairman, I vote yes.
Thank you. That motion's carried unanimously. With that, we'll move on to item 6, unfinished business. Item 6A, that item is postponed to a meeting yet to be determined. So we'll leave that in there as we move on. I don't think we have to vote on that one. Item 7, new business, 20 Evergreen Park. Could the applicant please come up to the podium and state their name for the record, please?
Yes, my name is Brad Frazier.
Mr. Frazier, we're going to have Jennifer introduce that topic to us. So, Jennifer?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and through you to the committee members. Before us is an application for a garden suite at 20 Evergreen Park Drive. It is a discretionary use as found in section 25B1C, so we'll need approval from the committee for to allow it. Also requesting a lot area variance and variance for the gross floor area ratio. So the property is located in a rural zone and contains 4,274 square meters of area, whereas the bylaw does require 5,350 square meters. That being to accommodate septic systems, on-site septic disposal systems. We're aware, staff are aware that applicants can apply through the Department of Justice and Public Safety for a on-site septic permit. When lots are reduced or smaller than what's required, they often will allow for engineered septic systems to be installed, and that is what this request is. There's a reduced lot size area. He's coming forward to ask for the variance, and doing so will ensure that we receive that septic permit from the province before we'll issue any permits for the lot. So from staff's perspective, from a planning perspective, we're okay with the development as long as the province approves the septic system. Moving on to the requested floor area variance, the bylaw is written such that it's 35% of the finished area of the home. So we did a calculation that came out to be that the garden suite would be allowed to be 51 square meters, a little tight for a one-bedroom unit. So they are requesting to allow it to be 66.9 square meters. That's a 15.9 square meter variance that staff would be willing to support. I think everything else is captured in my report, and I'm open to any questions that the committee may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Mr. Fraser, you would have received the same information we did in the mail. Anything you'd like to add or discuss prior to members of PAC or the public asking you some questions?
Not on my end. I think Jennifer captured everything in her report. That I got a chance to read that before now, so I think that captures everything.
Okay, thank you. Any members of PAC have any questions for the applicant? Brenda?
I have a question for Jennifer. How many buildings can you have on the lot? Because that would be the number 4 or number 5, depending on what that little shed is.
And through you, Mr. Chair, to Ms. Valley. So you're permitted to have 3 accessory buildings. In discussion with the applicant, one of those buildings will be removed or has already been removed from the site, the little wood shed. Yeah,
That's
that
right,
one.
Yeah.
So we can include that in the conditions of approval if you'd wish.
Well, I'm just asking the question.
Nope,
I have no problem.
It's a great question.
And if your house and garage were connected, you would not have to worry about the size of your granny suite, right?
I don't want to.
I know what I'm saying. That's why I have no problem with the size of that suite. Anyway, no, that's it.
Thank you, Brenda. Any other members of PAC have any questions for the applicant?
Mr. Chairman, Mark here. I have a question for
Sure.
Jennifer also. It looks like the back of the property, it's much lower than the street level. My question is, do we need a variance and a hold harmless? Because again, I stand to be corrected, but from the picture, it looks like the land at the back is lower than the street level. Maybe you can clarify that, Jennifer.
Through you, Mr. Chair, to Mr. Gosling, that's a very good observation, Mr. Gosling. Yes, a variance will be required and a hold harmless would need to be entered into for the elevation of the unit if it's below the 1 meter of the road. I can explain to you later. But if the committee be willing to grant that variance tonight, I can certainly make sure that we have the accurate numbers for the notice of decision. Thank you very much, Mr. Gosling, for noticing that.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Mark. Mr. Hatfield, you had a question?
That's actually through your chair to Jennifer. Accessory buildings, do the second dwelling consider as an accessory building? And this is just more for future reference, that they would.
Oh, yes, it would be considered an accessory building.
Thank you. Any further questions for the applicant? None being, would a member of PAC like to put a motion for or against with terms and conditions, please? Mr. Preston?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make the following motion. Planning Advisory Committee approve a 1,076 square meter lot area variance from section 6 W-1B 15.9 square meter gross floor area variance from section 6 W-1C, both are zoning bylaw number 038, and to approve a discretionary use under section 25B1C, a zoning bylaw number 038, to permit a 60.966.9 square meter one-bedroom single-story garden suite at 20 Evergreen Drive, PID 302-89490, subject to the following terms and conditions. 1, the garden suite shall have potable water services provided directly from the main dwelling unit. The connection must be completed by professional plumbing license with the province of New Brunswick. All costs associated with the connection are the responsibility of the property owner. That should be completed by a professional plumber. It must be connected to either a municipal sewer system or an on-site sewage disposable system approved by the Department of Justice and Public Safety. A copy of an on-site septic installation permit will be provided to the town prior to the release of a building permit. All costs associated with the connection are the responsibility of the property owner. 3, the building containing the garden suite must be constructed to the National Building Code of Canada, current adopted edition 4. The property should not be subdivided to create a flag lot for the secondary unit. 5, the property owner must reside on the property either in the principal dwelling or the garden suite. 6, the subject property is limited to 2 dwelling units, including the garden suite and the main dwelling. 7, the exterior finish of the garden suite is to be a cladding recognized by the National Building Code of Canada, current adopted edition. And 8, a development permit and building permit are issued prior to any work being commenced for the development of the garden suite. And 9, a hold harmless agreement is to be entered into with the town of Quispamsis regarding the 1 meter elevation difference between the road and the back of the property.
Jennifer?
I can give you the section for that too from the zoning bylaw. It's 6.F1,
Point F1?
6 decimal F1.
6 decimal F1. Okay, thank you. We have a seconder on that, Mr. Hatfield?
I'll second.
Thank you. On that, any questions on the motion? Please have a vote, please.
Mr. Chairman, my vote is yes.
Thank you. That motion's carried unanimously, 5 to 7 business days. You have a letter in the mail. Please work with the town to have all necessary documentation in place and that permit from the government approval before you get the building permit. So, thank you. Best of luck. Thank you very much. With that being, we'll move on to item 8, information and items for discussion. We have a motion to receive and file, please?
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Brenda?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Can we have a vote on that?
My vote is yes again.
That motion's carried unanimously. We'll move on to item 9, adjournment. Have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Seconder, please. Mark, second it. Thank you. With that being, meeting is adjourned for Tuesday, April 8th. Thank you very much.